EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Houston Texans. On the return, here's Jerome Ford. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Cleveland offense making their way out.
At their own 20-yard line.
They will start this drive with Ford. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Good sign here early. Everybody on offense there up front in the backfield in sync on that play.
So much talk about what do you do to neutralize home field advantage? Well, teams that run the football effectively, they often have a way of neutralizing it in a big way when they have those types of runs.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Flacco. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Third and 3. Flacco off play action. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a 2nd and 6. Stroud looking to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for this with Singletary. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
First and 10, it's Stroud. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. Stroud to throw it. He's got it to Collins, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Good pickup there, 21 yards. No question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Toss left side for Pierce. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Stroud. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here for Flacco. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there was one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Texans will take over. Singletary to get the drive started. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Play action. Here's Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, nice move. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Stroud. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And Stroud now to throw. And Woods has it complete. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. Ford now to return it. This taken in right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. Passing play. Flacco. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ford. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. 6-0 our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. His throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And now it's second down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. On a slant, here's Collins. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On third down, they go with Singletary. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 84 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
A give, Singletary, right side. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one, 28 yards on the ground. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
Now Stroud. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Stroud sets up the play action. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
3rd and goal, Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz, an 11-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Ford now to return it. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He finds his man complete. It's Ford. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To pass, Flacco. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. They'll run on first down with Singletary. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 132 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Singletary again. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 25, here's 2nd and a couple. Stroud. And it's incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like overtime football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The man in motion is Brown. Singletary here running out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Stroud on 3rd down now. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble is 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air, never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They run with Ford. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
You force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7. Flacco. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Flacco. To the right side, and he's got more complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 3. Again, they turn to Ford. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Flacco. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, but they're trying to mount a small stance before this drive reaches the end zone.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Flacco will take to the air again. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jonathan Bernard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. But when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room, maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
On the scoreboard.
On first down, here's Stroud. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Stroud looking to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Here's more on the return. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Here's Flacco. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Flacco. Man open. It's Goodwin. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. Deep ball for Goodwin. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
149 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Right back to Singletary on second down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
No gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Returning it is Moore. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
This is Ford. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run on first down. Ford. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, it's Ford. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Operating off play action, Flacco. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
A red zone first down for Flacco. That's complete to a speedy right on Goodwin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 11-yard line.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Up the middle they go. It's Ford, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Hunt will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good, and they take the lead by a point, 17-16.
Browns 17, Texans 16.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Texans back out there and ready to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
They go right back to Singletary. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Stroud's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing now is Stroud. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Singletary, they'll run for it. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a first down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you dispute it a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the official.
Well, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 9. Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now here's Stroud on 3rd down. That is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Pierce is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Once more, it's Pierce. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
They'll run for it with Pierce. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans have retaken a third-quarter lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. For this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Ford now to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, 2nd and 6. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. The handoff to Ford up the middle. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This offense so far on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. That close on third down. I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's King. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense got to stop, force the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Noah Brown, 65 yards. And the Texans use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
So after the 20 to about the 22. And the Browns getting set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the fourth quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
On first down, Flacco. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Passing play, Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, Flacco. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Robert Woods taking it in. And the Texans have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. It's caught. Cooper. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Flacco. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malik Collins able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
Here we go. 4th down, 4th quarter. Flacco. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They'll give this to Singletary running right. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you're not going to know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Devin Singletary. And the Texans up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
17.
Anytime that ball comes to me, it's showtime, baby. Oh, let's turn it up. Get something going. Let's go. Let's go right here. I know you hype. I know you. Let's go now. Let's go. Guys ready to get it on right now? Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's game time. Let's go, y'all. Get ready. Let's go, man.
So that turn. And he returns this to the 22. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Flacco's throw taken in by Cooper here. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now Flacco. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
A 5-yard gain on the play. First down, Cleveland.
Here's Flacco. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ford. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And again, it's Flacco to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
To pass, Flacco. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down the ground. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
First and 10, it's Pierce.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we